Hello, kids. How are ya? Back again. AJ, the Suburban Princess here. Birds of a Feather, CoEd edition. Here with me and Eddie B. What's up?
Eddie, hey, what's going on?
All
Ah,
right, we are back. We are starting. We are getting over the first week of preseason. Um,
oh yeah.
me and Eddie attended it. So, Eddie, what was your instant thoughts about when we finally got there?
Oh, it's about the practice. Yeah, I mean, the practice was crazy. It it felt like a real game the way people showed up. I mean, I was amazed how many people were there
It's packed.
because when we got there, the whole bottom part was pretty full. And then all of a sudden, we look up and almost the top was full.
Yeah, because I thought they always just filled the bottom bowl for open practice.
Yeah.
See people all the way up in the 200s above the bird's
Oh,
nest is like, what?
yeah. People showed out. I mean, was it 200 over $200,000 for Autism Foundation,
And about
which is
50,000 showed up. So
which is
AJ Brown
great.
was right when they guessed. So AJ was right that 50,000 strong showed up, and it was just practice.
Yeah, only three teams had a big turnout like that. It was like us, Green Bay, and somebody else.
Oh well, Green Bay, I'm not shocked, but
Yeah,
not too much pressure on Jordan Love. So what was your thoughts? Just even being like the whole experience. First of all, it was crowded. I wanted to see people from Twitter, but I didn't even have the energy by the time we got food because that took
yeah,
forever. The link needs to fucking get their condiment stuff straightened out for every freaking stand. That pissed me off. I mean, I'm not the
yeah,
person who. I mean, you didn't need a condiment for your sandwich because you didn't get a cheesesteak, but it's just the fact that that's ridiculous. Like even when I worked there, it wasn't that bad. But whatever. Anyway,
yeah.
back to
Well, they'll probably be more on point when it's actually a game, though.
I don't know
Well, we'll see.
about it right now. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But anyway, long story short, so what did you think when we finally got our seats, when we finally found somewhere to sit? First of all, because it felt like nowhere was there a seat for both of us. We had to finally squeeze into a
Yeah,
section.
but the row we ended up sitting in was a good row, so it was
Yeah, it
fine.
was fine. It was dead on. Yeah, we found somewhere right in like the mid mid 100 section. So once we
Yeah,
finally sat and I finally stopped bitching about the condiments and being hot, we got there and we had a cool section.
yeah. We
Um,
sat with some good people, some funny, fun people. Yeah, so that was good.
yeah, quite. I was quite entertaining myself, if I might add.
The one girl kept laughing at you.
Yeah, we had competition over Dallas every time Dallas Goddard was shown on the camera, which
But
I loved.
the girl that was directly in front of us, she was like cracking up. But then
Oh yeah,
yeah, the girl on the other side, down a little further down, you and both of y'all yelling at Dallas. Like,
she was just yelling in general because you could tell she came from the bar, came from the party.
oh, she was lit
She,
up.
she,
What
she wanted us to
what
be lit
what
24/7. We're like, there's nothing happening.
what about the guy that was behind us who was completely faded?
Until we took our I took that selfie of us. I didn't realize he was even like a person behind us until the one girl kept asking, did he want something to eat?
And
And I
she's
felt like
trying to make him eat. Yeah, because it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
he
he's
wasn't even responding.
surprised.
I'm like, is he dead?
She was like, eat some fries. I was like, this dude is drunk.
This dude just don't want to be here. And other than the cute little babies that were behind me, just kept losing. I kept losing focus because cute little toddlers. But yeah, I mean, honestly, let's be honest. Like open day practice is basically our first game of the season, basically, even though it's not a game.
Yeah.
It's our first view of everybody, and as far as drills and stuff like that, if we were paying attention, because honestly, we got diverted from that Cowboys fan mess that happened across from us.
Oh
They
God.
decided to show their
That
fucking blanket for whatever
yeah.
reason.
That clown. Yeah.
It's always one, and then apparently some other guy taped himself and E-Rock was clowning him on social media and he was a Colts fan. I'm still trying to figure out why people want to make a big deal and they're not Eagles fans here. Like, why would you even pay the ticket? But
Nobody
whatever.
care. No, nobody cares about the Colts fans. Like, what do they?
Nobody cares in general. I mean, other than Anthony Richardson, I have to give him props. Like the little that I saw of some of the other preseason games this weekend, he does look like he has potential. He did throw a pick though, but he definitely looks like a strong contender. I mean, honestly, Garner Minshew is not our problem anymore, but I don't think he'll be the starting quarterback for long in that association.
Mm,
So
mm,
saying go Anthony Richardson. But anyway, so what else did you take from the open practice that you can remember?
I mean, there was some good throws. from Hurts to AJ. I mean, that was
What happened?
couple good catches to AJ from AJ Brown.
Oh yes, we saw some really
Yeah,
good catches. I don't think he dropped any back. He didn't
nah,
drop.
Smith had a couple too. I mean, it was just, I mean, it was basically playing catch, but they look okay. You know, the running backs are good in the drills. I always
Yeah.
forgot Brooks. I keep forgetting Brooks was here, but he probably won't be here anyway. So
No, he didn't have a really good fourth quarter, and then I think he had a fumble in the preseason game.
yeah,
So
yeah, he coughed one up. Yeah,
yeah, he coughed one up, which is not good because we let go of that guy that coughed up balls a lot. He's in Carolina, so we don't need a repeat offender. Um, I basically I don't miss excuse me I don't miss going to the link simply because when you don't have a car anymore, and I know you pick me up, which I love, thank you. But if I was there just going, it's not as fun. I have to admit, other than when I was working there, because at least I only had to just walk straight up, to get to the lake. It's like now it's like over the river and through the woods for me to get there. You
hmm
know what I mean? And even though practice is only $10, it's just the fact that I love that I didn't have to pay anything as an employee. And I know I need to stop bitching about that. It's like old, but I'm still annoyed by it. Um, the newest additions to, and I'm just going to say this just because I'm so used to being there. There's different stands in there now, concession stands, and there was this nice little bar which me and Eddie almost partook in, but I'm thinking money wise, it just made sense to just get water instead of alcohol. Because even though it wasn't hot, it was probably smarter to spend your 20 or so bucks, whatever you're gonna blow in there for food and a drink. You might as well just
yeah.
get water instead of getting a drink. You can just get a drink anywhere. But I have to say, it looks nice on certain parts that we were on. I didn't think about it, but when I realized later that the autism promotion they were doing was popcorn, but it was all the way on the Pepsi side or whatever those gates are called now. That Lori was doing, they were giving away different types of popcorn, and I love kettle corn. So if I'd have thought about that, I would have said
Okay.
we went on the other side instead of where we went. But it was just easier because where we parked.
I'm surprised they weren't set up. I'm surprised they weren't set up in two different areas. So
Right. No, I know. And it was one of those things I found out later, like on the social media, Eagles page. So I wouldn't even know. But
yeah,
I love kettle corn. And I was like, they were calling it popcorn for the people. And had I known where exactly where that was, I would have went over there. But honestly, like I said, it was so many people in there that there was just energy that I normally have to like get up and want to walk around and see if I can find people.
yeah, it was too crowded. Yeah,
It was too crowded. By the time we sat down, I didn't want to be that person getting up. I told you I didn't want to go to the bathroom until we were just about to leave, and then I finally gave it up because you said you were going. I was just like, all right, I'll break the seal. But yeah, I guess old feelings die hard. I mean, it's not that I hate going to the link. It's just that now you realize when you're not an employee, you don't have that many benefits anymore. And
yeah,
I just feel like the feel of the game is really what you do miss. I mean, honestly, when I looked at preseason prices for the games, they're not bad. But I'd have to really want to go to a game. And it's like for preseason, it's like I don't want to spend that much knowing it's not going to count, especially if it ends up being a decent game. And I'll be like, this doesn't
yeah.
count. But it's never gonna match obviously the price of the real game. So
Oh, of course, yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but overall, I think we had a good time. You see, they showed us their little hype video when they come out on the floor.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess that's the mix of the hype video. You heard me say that I'm kind of over the Rocky thing, but I guess we'll never lose that whole
Yeah, it's
moniker.
never that's never going away.
It's
I
never
mean,
gonna die.
I'm tired of it too, but it's never going anywhere.
I just feel like they could mix it up with something like I don't even not even just Meek Mill, just something current. You know what I mean?
I did like the fact that if you notice in the video, they had some Creed spots in there.
Hype video. We're over the whole Rocky thing. But here's the thing that's really exciting though to see too. It's just the fact that even before we have our first injury, which we found out last night, Sean Bradley, out for the
Yeah,
season, Achilles. I feel bad for him because he hasn't really even been able to shine outside of special teams. So it's like I'm sure it's even more frustrating when we notice some of these linebackers. They're not showing everybody. They didn't even let N'Kobe shine on Saturday
well,
night. So
yeah, his
I'm sure
ankle's
he was
still
itching.
sore apparently. So,
Yeah, but
well,
you would think at this time. Go ahead.
the main reason why a lot of people got held out is because they had practice with the Browns coming right up tomorrow actually.
It's today and tomorrow.
Yeah, and then they have the game on Thursday,
Right,
so they were
Thursday.
just like it was a quick turnaround. So they were like, oh, And then 20 guys not even suit up.
And then the other Patrick guy, who was a linebacker per se, he hurt himself way before, like I think OTAs or whatever. So they're dwindling down on linebackers, the few that they have. So it's like, and then they have the guy Morrow that actually showed up a little more in this game recently. They said Nicholas Morrow looked a little good. So
Yeah,
I'm
he
just saying
looked
in my
okay.
head, like,
Miles
yeah,
Jack, Miles Jack had a good
Miles Jack.
tackle.
I'm sorry. Yes, yes,
Uh,
that we got from the
and
Jags.
then I actually like that kid. What's his name? Beruzin,
No,
tall
what
white boy,
position?
linebacker, middle linebacker. He was out there with because they were talking about him and they talked about him and Sidney Brown a lot.
Okay, I don't know the other guy because they didn't because Reed wasn't playing either. So
Yeah,
who
and
was
they
the
talked
safety
about
on
him and
the
Brown a lot
Patriots?
because for a minute it was just him and Brown getting him and Sidney getting all the tackles. It was just like,
Okay, you know me, I was probably looking at Sydney only. I probably forgot about the other guy. So if there's another one, I just think because the reason why I felt bad about Sean is because he's only just special teams. I'm sure he was kind of seriously probably hoping to probably be a middle linebacker they could use while the other guys are
yeah,
being
that
held
this is
out.
his
So I feel
chance. Yeah,
bad
that was
for
his
him.
chance now.
Yeah. So and it was bad when you see him on the park because I thought for sure maybe he just had like maybe it's just an MCL and he'll be back like mid season, but Achilles always sucks because you know
Nah,
that recovery is
yeah,
intense. I just felt bad for him in general because, and some of the comments I saw underneath the post were so catty, and I was just like, never act like these guys aren't important. Because the point is, at
yeah.
the end of the day, these guys can be fillers for other guys in the season. You don't realize how much this might,
You also
you
feel
know.
bad for them because what if they were auditioning for another team? Because it's their career, so
That's what I'm
they got to
saying.
sit out.
Yeah,
Now they got to sit out a whole season again.
and then also, like you said, you don't know how thin of a rope he's on with the team. They may decide to just give him a grievance clause and cut him, next year. So I'm sure the last thing he wants to think about is whether or not he'll be an Eagle still next year once he's recovered.
Yeah,
So people don't realize how that stuff really affects people, especially because he started since he left Temple. So um, that's pretty much the only team he knows. But we'll see. But prayers to Sean. I pray up that his healing and recovery is fast because every little bit
yeah.
counts when you get back to the playoff time. Even if he comes back around January, that'd still be helpful for special teams. Special teams looked okay. I'm still seeing some gaps that they're
So
not covering very well.
yeah, but they didn't get a lot of work either. So I mean, it's hard to judge
No,
them.
they didn't. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the question's still out about special teams. We haven't really seen a return
I
and
mean,
redemption on
they
that.
punted like 3 times. I mean,
Right.
yeah,
We're
I
still
mean,
wondering about a punter. Like, do we like Sipas? Do we want to get rid of Sipas? Like, these are things that some people actually who pay attention to every position. I mean, I don't care, but I know that I heard a lot of complaints about we still need to get another punter. He didn't do shit. And I'll be like, if you're looking at that part of the game, I
I
mean,
mean, Sipols was better than the guy we brought in to take his place last year.
honestly, look, I just hope we never have to. I know one thing. I was kind of annoyed that Jake did miss one kick because now you realize that one kick could have made the difference of the game since they only lost by a point, the Eagles. So it's like
Yeah,
even
but
knowing that he missed the second,
honestly,
I know it doesn't
I
matter.
I don't care
I know it's
about that.
preseason, but it's like we were trying to ruin their stupid, the Ravens' stupid
Yeah,
streak.
let them have that stupid ass lame ass fucking streak. Who cares?
I'm just glad Lamar got paid as far as that, and
Yeah,
I'm glad to see him back and not stand, on the sidelines where his check was going to be. I always want all the brothers to get paid, but all right. So moving on. So when we actually watched the actual game, um, there were some moments even during the game that I kind of was like, "This is exciting," but we all know that Jalen's not starting, even though most of them dressed, with the exception of like Kelsey and Reed and stuff, and some didn't dress, but Jalen was already had came out, full dress and stuff and throwing the ball, but he didn't
yeah, they
play.
came out earlier, yeah, and then they went back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's why I was like, I don't know if and now with Sirianni not really answering straight whether he wants to, let people know who's starting and who's not. Doesn't matter with preseason whether or not you indicate who's
yeah.
starting.
I mean,
It's kind of a
he doesn't
given.
know. Yeah, he
Either
doesn't
he
know.
doesn't know or he just doesn't. He says he doesn't want to tip, but I'm just like, it's preseason. Why are you worried about people knowing your scheme in preseason? I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
the big
mean,
secrecy is for preseason. It's like you're probably not going to use half the schemes as much
No,
anyway.
you're gonna play a very vanilla like game to begin with.
Right, vanilla,
I
yeah.
mean,
So,
everything is gonna be.
but I definitely like the first series. I personally didn't think that Mariota was that bad. Personally, I like obviously his speed
Nah,
is
to be honest with
back.
you, he's got it. He's still got his wheels, and that's what we. That's the reason why we got him. So I don't understand what people were mad for.
I know,
And
like
so,
he overthrew a pass. So did Tanner. I mean,
you
granted,
know,
Tanner's the one who scored twice, but he had more time
yeah.
too.
We also already know that his. We already know that Mariota's arm is not that great to begin with. Well, it's not. That was the most suspect part about him anyway. So why are we so upset about it? Like, he's not.
Yeah,
We know he's not going to start. He's gonna. But the thing is, look what he can do though. I mean, he can. He can. The offense doesn't change that much when he's in there. So I
and
mean,
we
it's.
liked how we saw Agent Zero take the field. You already saw enough that you're
Oh,
like, it's
he had a good run. Yeah, that was a hell of
very
a
good
run.
run. He stunned that first defender, and then he was off. You
Sermon
know,
looked good. Actually,
Sermon did
Sermon
look
looked
good.
good, and so did Penny. Penny looked good too. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
Penny started off slow, but I think he started eventually getting a feel. But a lot of people were starting to say they wasted. You know, some people were just being really picky, and I was just like, if you don't shut the fuck up,
well, they
like
also
you
got
don't
to remember
understand. Go ahead.
these guys are running behind a third team. Some of these guys are running behind a third team offensive line. Like,
I
you
feel
really think
people
they're going?
forget that.
Yeah, like what do you think is going to happen? Like the second team offensive line actually looked pretty damn good.
I didn't
I
think they looked
mean,
bad either. I kept forgetting that too. You're right. I was realizing that too. I said you have to consider these are not going to be the guys starting. Most of the guys are on the side of the field that are going to be opening that lane for him.
I mean,
So
yeah,
imagine
that
Penny
whole
getting more
offensive
free.
line, yeah, the offensive line was all second guys. I mean,
That's
they
not
pretty
bad.
much sat the whole line. I mean, those guys look, and those are the guys that are going to be your rotation guys. I'm glad that they actually look that good because
They
we're going
didn't
to
look
need them
bad.
to play well when they come in to suffer people. Because if they don't, get Jalen running for his life in the backfield. you know, like,
And I'm telling you, I saw a lot of that, and I know again highlights preseason of other games, but I saw like Bryce, what's his name, in Carolina didn't get anything off because his O line was not holding, and there were a lot of players running for their lives. San Francisco looked like crap, which is
can we give a special shout
felt
out to
bad for
Dallas
Trey.
the fact that they had the starters in for two for almost the first half and they still lost the
I
game.
thought I saw Dak playing. I was confused too. I said, why is Dak starting?
I was like, that's
You're that insecure
crazy.
about him that he's got to start? Like, really? That's so stupid. Because what if he did get hurt?
Yeah,
That would be
no.
so stupid.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
that just shows you how much they have. Like, there's such a disconnect in that organization. It's not even funny. But anyway, um, and then what else was good? We definitely saw, like you said, I agree with Penny and stuff like that. And then the pick six with Eli Ricks, that cornerback.
Oh, Rex, yeah, Rex look, yeah.
That was definitely a great pick. Good
And you know
eyes.
what? Even though what's the kid, the Ringo kid, Kelly Ringo,
Yeah,
he had
Kelly Ringo.
he had that one play, but that's a tough throw. I mean, he
It
can't defend
was.
that.
And he
He
came
couldn't
back
defend
from it and defended. Right. Yeah, you're right.
a
So
perfect a
he was
perfect
still in there.
yeah perfect back shoulder throw. How's he gonna? He's not. He can't defend that. You know. And but the thing is, he looked good against everything else that was thrown at him.
And,
What
and
about
what about Nolan's
circling
kid
back to the
too?
wide receivers?
Oh,
What about what about that kid Cleveland? What about Cleveland? He looked
yeah. I didn't even know who he was. I was like, yo, this kid is serious. But between him and Ngata, they were good.
Nada looked good too. I was like, oh man,
Ngata looked good. Yeah, they definitely have help on wide receiver. It's an embarrassment of riches. There's gonna be a hard decision on practice squad because there's gonna be a lot of dudes
they
sitting
got a
and
lot of
waiting.
big guys, a lot of big receivers,
Yes,
big body
which is what
receivers,
they needed.
which I love to see because I hate
I
all those
love
midget
too.
receivers.
We never seem to have like luck out with a lot of like there would only be one guy per like season. We would have guy with arms and tall enough.
Yeah, and I do like G Ward looked good too.
Yo,
He,
I told you when I texted you, I said, why are they playing him like a running back? Like I felt like he just came out of nowhere and then He's
He
old reliable, like they were saying on the
he
broadcast. They're
looks
like,
he
this is
looks
a guy.
he looks great out of his
He
injury. He
looks
looks
great.
faster. He looks like he put on a little muscle. Like he doesn't look as tiny as he did before.
I mean, he's always going to look small compared to the other guys, but you have to consider how
Yeah,
long this dude's been on this team and been kind of demoted twice, if you really think about it.
yeah.
And for him to still show up and still be in even better shape, that's faith that he knows that all I need is one shot and I can show them what I. Because come on, let's be honest. Even when Wentz was in his down period, he was always that reliable guy in the fourth quarter who
Oh,
could
Ward,
catch
yeah,
a ball out of freaking nowhere in the corner at the right damn time. So he's like,
yeah.
you know what he is? He's like Jason Avant to me. Not the same size, obviously. Jason Avant
I love the
always
Vaughn.
catch balls out of like the cloud, out of nowhere. It could be the worst game in the world, but he can make that one great
Mhm.
catch, and you'd be like, "That's the man." You can always expect him to show up. So, but I
Yeah.
think they were saying that on the broadcast too. They were like, "Greg Ward is that old reliable. He is always there when you need him type of guy, even in garbage minutes. He will show up." But
Yeah.
yeah, but I definitely appreciate him. Did they put Quez in for this game a
I
little
didn't
bit?
see Quez. No, Quez didn't.
I don't
He
think
wasn't
Quez
out there.
did. Okay.
Honestly, I don't even care about Quez. He didn't need to be out there at
No,
all.
I know. I mean, I
I
don't
hate
have
to I
the
hate to
same
say that
Israel.
feeling about
No, I
him,
know.
but
I
I
know. I
just
mean, he could get beat by all this competition. Honestly, you see there, you know,
yeah.
he have to really fight for his job. Week one. Who knows? They may put him in like after this week's game to see if he,
See what he got. Yeah.
see what he
I
got
don't know.
because his biggest flaw was not getting letting guys get in front of him because he wasn't doing that
Mhm.
before. So I don't know what stopped him, but he need to pick up on that.
Fast as he
Like
is, he should blow the doors off of everybody.
I'm just saying,
Like,
he was
that
always the
should
guy
be
that was
his.
getting separation. So I don't know what changed. It caught up to him and he didn't know how to adapt. But
Yeah.
anyway, no. But yeah, you're right. Cleveland, a lot of these guys, and gotta. Who's the other person? Somebody else made a really ridiculous catch. Oh, the guy,
The kid from Navy. Kid who used to play for Army or
Rick,
Navy.
Rick Hick.
Uh,
I think it was
Hasselbrook.
King. Oh,
Hasselbrook.
Hasselbrook and King though. But King made the one deep pass that
Yeah.
Tanner threw. That was King. I know
Yeah, it
that
was
was
King. Yeah.
So we had the point is we had a lot of names. So that's saying something. You got the second, third, and fourth stringer dudes making pretty decent catches. Quez got a lot to be worried about. So
McKee
he
and
better not.
McKee had some decent balls too. So I was like,
He's tall enough. He's tall enough,
yeah,
and he can hold his own in the pocket. And even if he can't run, he did try.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
know what I'm
He
saying?
looked, yeah, he was looking a little slow running out of the pocket that one
Little slow,
time.
little Tom Brady esque.
Well,
Giraffe-ish.
you would think how tall he is, he'd be able to like cover some ground because get that stride
I
going.
just like the fact that he's tall because my main thing is with every quarterback, it's hard to see over the O line, and you don't want him.
I mean, you
You
got
know,
some big
just
guys in front of you.
I'm just saying. So when you have Mailata in there, you just worry about if for whatever reason, if he has to play, he be able to find the path over these big ass guys because he's tall, but they're huge. So
Hmm.
I like the fact that he's tall, and obviously we're gonna just barely address the Ian Book situation. Obviously he's still here just by default, but he did not make a very stellar case for himself in the last part of that game. I felt like he
Nah,
was holding the ball longer than he needed to. He was running a lot more than he needed to. I don't know why he kept running. And I felt like he was
yeah,
messing up his flow with the wide receivers, so they were like kind of wasn't the timing was totally off.
oh
Um,
yeah,
so it just didn't look really good at all. But like I said, win or lose these type of games, you're just happy to see the players that are out there. So as far as we know, Thursday night they could start Mariota, or they could go backwards, start Tanner, and then have Mariota, come on
yeah. They
second
can
half.
move it around. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So I like the fact that there's something to watch with the second and third quarterbacks for this time around because usually this will be the time you barely watch because you know that if Hurts is not starting, there's no point in watching the game. But and they kind of go backwards now because it's only 3 weeks instead of 4. So do they ever put the starters in for a series?
they may
Is it
not. I mean,
okay?
because they could dress him for like just for a quarter to get him some reps, but at the same time, it's like, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
but it would be kind of a thrill, especially if it was because this Browns game is this a home game or is this in
mm,
Cleveland?
I'm trying to remember if it was in Cleveland or
I
home.
know I'm trying to remember too. Wait, because I used to have the preseason in my phone
Yeah, I don't want
because I
to.
know
I
the
don't want
one game is home and it's usually always against the Jets. But I don't know what the last game this short
It's the
season.
Colts.
Okay.
The other
So the
one's the
Colts.
Colts.
Okay. So
Which is
either
not a
way,
far travel either. That's a travel game.
and it's indoors. That was their toughest game last season. So I wonder if they do decide to start them just for a series. But that was also kind of a real defensive game, so they may not want to do
Mm-hmm.
that and risk any hurt because they seem to always play the Colts kind of hard, even though that team is terrible. I'm just wondering if the Colts are going to end up fucking around and losing on their running back because they were talking about him wanting a trade. And I'd be like, that's really sad if you get rid of somebody who's like your best running back because of money, because we would love him.
Yeah.
He would be a great Colt running back over here. But the way they talk about how these backs ain't getting paid, I'm like, I hope he ain't expecting a lot of money because we ain't gonna give him shit when he comes
Yeah,
here.
honestly, I think our running back room is crowded enough already.
Yeah, we have an
Eh,
abundance of riches. The
But you
only
know
thing
what?
that's
But
me. Go
it's
ahead.
not a bad position to be in though. I mean,
Mm-mm.
to have
No,
four
because
guys that are good.
if we play smart, and the schemes aren't overdoing it on both ends of the offense, then we still have a lot to play with, wiggle room,
Yeah.
decent time for the bye week. So, and now that we just found out that Ezekiel Elliott's going to be on the Patriots, that home opener, that home opener
Yeah,
is
that should be
very
interesting.
interesting. God, that's so weird. And he cut his hair down back to his like when he first got drafted. So I guess he knows that they don't want that hair shit over there.
You
It's
know,
just like you better be clean cut. You gotta look like you ain't do no kind of drugs whatsoever. Now we know the latter.
Belichick gonna be like, you don't put a damn shirt on.
Right. He's gonna be like, we don't do that half shirt shit over here, dude. We don't do that. Um, that's interesting now. They still got Jadeveon Clowney out there. I don't know if that brother's gonna get a job unless he takes minimal pay because he be always asking for a lot of money, and they always go
I
no.
mean, he has an opportunity to. He could end up honestly. He could honestly, if he doesn't get signed later, I'll be surprised if the team like if we didn't grab him just for rotation purposes. I wouldn't be surprised. Like to
What team you said?
how if we didn't grab him for like
Oh,
rotation purpose, like going down the line, I
look, I
wouldn't be
remember people were saying
surprised.
that a year after what he did to Wentz, that everybody was actually entertaining that, and I said, y'all got a nerve after everybody was so pissed that he caused Wentz to get hurt, and then people were saying as soon as they said he was available, they're like, well, I wouldn't
Oh,
mind that.
I
I'd
mean,
be like, what?
he's a
At
good
this
player.
point, it's years after, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
if we desperate, although we pretty stacked up there too, so.
yeah. Depends how our guys work out, and the system that the Eagles use, it's good for guys. Look what happened with Indominant Sue.
I
Like
know. I was kind of hoping we would at least keep that one forward. That was kind of fun. They
I
were like
say, bring him
pancakes,
back.
everybody.
I say, bring him back
Me too. I like the
because
joint
he,
pancake we had going on with them.
you
They were
you see
nice.
how he played with fresh legs. I mean,
Yeah, I like a mid-season replacement. I'll take it. Shoot, that middle was
he's
stuffed.
probably out there. I don't think anybody signed him yet, did they?
No, because he's always talking about real estate on Twitter, so he's probably just laying low. But he's in great shape still. I mean, he's gonna.
Hanging out with his twins.
Yeah, and his girlfriend's still on TikTok. I think I still follow her too. But
Well, one of
yeah.
his
So
kids is gonna have to settle for a NFC Championship ring and not a Super Bowl ring, unless
I
he comes
know.
back here and tries to get another one. So,
That would have been nice though, because I kind of like the fact that when they had the guys there, I'm like, oh my god, there's no reason for us to be able to not get there with these two big guys, especially when they took Jordan out for the like most of the
oh
year,
my
I guess.
God! But one thing we forgot, we didn't mention the way Jalen Carter manhandled.
Yes, I meant to say it early before you talked about the wide receivers. I meant to bring them up. Okay, so let's talk about these Georgia boys. The little sneak peek we got was
Yeah,
quite enough. Quite enough. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
he went into action right away.
just straight went right his first snap, and he just went.
First snap, he just knew where to go.
And you
And
see
the fact that he
Fletch.
even said he goes, I watch tape. Like, I'm like, do you have to watch tape though? Because I think that was just common sense. I think he just knew where to be.
Did you see Fletch laughing about it? He was like, "Yeah."
Yes.
He was like, so because what's he was like, that kind of looks like one of your moves. He's like, "Yeah." He said, "I was working with him."
He said, we've been working on it all season. I'm just thinking, all off season. I'm like, look, Look, rest in peace to all these quarterbacks this year because somebody getting hurt,
Somebody
and
going,
it's not gonna be on purpose. It's just gonna be because of the game. Sorry, we just say your prayers. That's all I
no,
gotta
no.
say. Because once and Nolan too, like even though he whiffed on one, he came right back and joined in on a sack. So
hmm
once Nolan gets his techniques down, because that boy is overexcited, he's gonna have to really hone
They
himself
said,
down and
yeah,
focus.
they said he looks bigger too. They said.
Oh, but yeah, I'm sure that boy's
So,
probably literally in the gym with Jalen at this point. You know what I mean? He's probably like he's so hyped. He said, "I just can't wait to knock the shit out of somebody," and it's coming. It is coming. And they gotta hold him. They gotta rein him back though, because it's only preseason. They like we ain't
yeah.
trying to show them
Well, we
young
got
updates.
we got to tell Sydney to calm down too, because he was flying around hitting people.
Yeah.
he's got to
Here's
he's
the
got to
thing,
break it down a little bit.
because even when somebody was saying, they were just like, okay, so that's just it literally was like as soon as it went down, they were just like, and that's good, get out. It was like
hmm
as soon as DeAndre got hot, and get out. They're like, and
Yep.
we're done. So I was like, that's exciting but frustrating because you know you got to watch the rest of these games now because you know all the guys are going to have to step up because they only wanted to give you a little taste. But I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that was exciting for one quarter. That was real fun. And everybody would say it on Twitter. They're like, now imagine putting Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox all up in there. I said,
He'll be giving quarterbacks nightmares. They have anxiety.
I'm telling you, the stationary ones are going to be like, ah. I know because Josiah from Buckets, he put the he put the meme out there of just a picture of Drake looking like this. And they said every quarterback looking at the Eagles
Oh
from
God.
four,
Yeah.
like,
Like,
but
don't hurt me.
don't hurt me, I'm gentle. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So it'll be interesting to see how this Cleveland game goes. I don't know if joint practices make a difference, but I know for sure they're probably sick of hitting each other. So I think for the
hmm
mental aspect of it, it's probably refreshing to not hit your fellow man again for another week of practice and actually hit
Yeah.
somebody
They don't do full. They
with
do
some
light
confidence.
contact in these joint practices though. They're not tackling full on though.
Right, right. But it's
'Cause
good
they,
to see. I mean, if you even if you see Chubb do a couple runs, you get to know how he works, even if he's not playing this week.
hmm
Deshaun too. Um,
Yeah.
I don't even know who the backups for these other teams are. Like some of these new backups I saw playing over the weekend, I was just like, who is that?
Yeah.
Um, I know one of the other backups. I think you saw the clip that was rotated from the Jaguars game. Jaguars. Yeah, he threw that crazy pass from his knee. They had him pinned down, and he still managed to throw, and it was a touchdown. It was
I
the
didn't see I
Jaguars
didn't
game.
see, I didn't see that whole one. I watched some of it.
Okay,
I didn't catch the whole thing. So I probably
that
missed
was just
that
a
play.
highlight.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
missed that play.
it was crazy because I thought it was one of those where he looked like he was down, and then he apparently wasn't down, and next thing you know he threw it, and then the ball just sailed, and the guy caught it in the end zone. I was like, what? And then the other big highlight was the portray what's his name over 49ers. He did not look good either. I don't know if he's gonna stay on that team. They're gonna have to find a way to get rid of him. So I don't know if it's him or if it's just he can't play that offense. But he threw a pass and it looked like it was gonna be a pick for the Raiders. Was it the Raiders they were playing? Yeah. And
Mm.
it went through the guy's hands, but it bounced off the the Raiders guy hand and bounced into a tight end that was nearby, so it technically was a
Oh
touchdown. But it
wow.
totally took away from it because when you looked at it in fast motion, I didn't know where the ball went. But they kept saying they scored. I'm like, but he didn't have the ball, the guy in the end zone. Turned out it was the tight end on the side of the camera. The cameraman had missed it. He's celebrating like, yeah. And I'm like,
Oh, so he didn't know
how
it
did the
even
ball
saw
get
it.
over to him? So then they slowed it down. And then every time I kept asking
Uh
it on Twitter, some of the guys that had saw my tweet were just like, they were like, bounced off of 82. Go back and look at the slow mo. So when I saw it, I was like, sure enough, did. But
wow.
so most people were like looking at it like, yeah, Trey's not that good because that should have been picked off, and he had more than enough time, and they weren't holding for him either. So I said, they giving you second. If your second stringer still can't hold, that's a problem. So,
Well,
and honestly, we say fuck 49ers so they play them on like what week 13, I think it is. So when they bring
yeah,
it
I
here,
wish we were playing them first.
I wish we were playing. I wish we were opening with that. I don't think they thought about that in the planning
Because
stage
I
because
just
that would
want
have been
them
messed
to
up.
I want them to warm that ass up again since they talking all that shit.
Look, I used to be a Debo. I used to be. I told you I used to be a Debo fan, and now I'm just like, I just need somebody to
Yeah,
pop it.
I've
Just
always
pop.
liked Debo too, but I want somebody to slap him in his mouth.
Oh, he deserves it. Yeah, he deserves it. He's such a little whiny bitch. But all right. So moving on. Switching to the latest controversy this morning that I woke up to that I've been trying to avoid any kind of Sixer talk because there's really nothing to talk about. Here we go again with Harden
Oh God,
doing his little tour overseas in China. He decides he wants to drop this formal bomb and say it twice in whatever public appearance he was doing that was promoting him. And he basically said that, Daryl Morey is a liar and I will never be playing for that organization again. And he said, I'll say it again. And I thought to myself, I'm like, did you have to repeat yourself? Because I guess he didn't get a reaction he wanted. And then he said
yeah.
it a second time, and then you hear people going, ooh. So
You
then
know,
when I
he
see it,
just.
I'm just like, what do you think? What do you think, Ed? I'm over
I
it.
think. Oh God, I'm over too. I just think he's just mad that there's no market for him. That's why he's pissed off. There's no market for him. Nobody fucking wants him. That's what it
Not,
is.
not for the money he wants. Yeah.
Yeah, not for that. Like because they showed how he played. Yeah. One, he would have a good game and then disappear for two. Like,
And
like
then come back a little bit,
he,
but give like 50%,
he's
so
supposed to be a superstar. Like, come on, like where are you at? Like,
we don't need this Ben Simmons kind of strung out drama. Like, even if you, first of all, you're dumb enough to not think that a GM like Daryl Morey at this point in his career is not willing to do the same thing he did with Ben Simmons to you when you're not playing by the rules and you sign the
yeah,
renegotiated deal.
I,
So
I just I just don't like the way his approach to
it's
anything he
bad.
does.
It's bad blood. We don't need it
I
again.
think he's lazy. I think he doesn't. He's not showing the team he wants to win. All that talk
Thank you.
about he wants to win, but he's not showing the team he wants to. But if he did, he would show up and he wouldn't have no legs for an important playoff game and come out small. He's supposed to be a superstar.
I mean, if you telling your own teammate Embiid that you still want to be traded even after y'all seem all buddy buddy at the white party,
If I
you
was
don't get
Embiid,
stuck back
I
up with
wouldn't
him.
even want to talk to him anymore. I'd be like, you know what? I'm done with you. I don't even want to talk to you right now. You
They
know,
said
hey,
they said he tried to reach out to him, but I'm like, they also said that with Ben too, and I feel like sometimes they just say that for PR. Like, I think Embiid knew when he was done, he was done.
yeah,
Um, but I just think at this point, Embiid has to realize like this is the second time you're going through something like this, so that should
hmm
just tell you that either you put this team on your fucking back one more time, or you just leave. Because I understand if he decides to leave because this whole is just a burning ship. Like it would suck, but I'm like, look, you have to me, he has no reason to get any beef with the fans. Obviously, the
no,
hardcore one upset. But if you want to leave, we don't blame him. Like they're not
hmm
doing enough for him. And then on top of that, whether or not you believe he's worth it, I feel like this point in Embiid's career, like if y'all aren't bending over backwards to make sure that he gets somebody who's not going to tap out like this,
hmm
you're not doing your job. You know,
yeah,
at this end of the day, even if Embiid want to put out there like he's going to be in the best shape of his life, I don't even know why he said that. I just want to be like, we assume you are, dude. Anyway, but
yeah,
I just feel like this whole thing with the Sixers is just unnecessary bullshit that is just surfacing because Harden has the advantage to say something because nothing else is popping. Like you said, he's just mad that nobody was willing to take a bargain on him. If you were so hell bent on going back to Houston, why didn't you just go there, baby boy, and just leave it? Who cares what the money was? Go back to Houston.
yeah. Why did you sign the player? Why did you just opt out and just go? Like,
Thank you. What was the point of all that stuff if you didn't just stay true to what you said? Then you said something about the Clippers, and then suddenly that talk stopped too, right? Because you probably realized they didn't want you for that price either.
yep,
Like it's the
because
Clippers. If the Clippers have a priority, that should tell you something.
he knows
You
he's
know,
not going to be able to get a sign and trade anywhere. A trade and sign, he's not going to get it. It's not going to happen for him. Not for the amount of money that he wants anyway. It's not going to
that's my
happen.
point. So if you really want that bad to get off the team, you gonna take whatever the fucking money they give you and get the hell out. That's basically what I'm saying. Like at this point, it shouldn't matter. Money shouldn't even matter. Give me a blank check. Just get me out of here. Do it.
To end up
And
playing
honestly, at this
somewhere.
point, them as soon as they said they're gonna start doing their ending trade talks, I knew something was bad. Because I'm just like,
Yeah.
if that's not a sign right now they ain't trying to play your game, then I would just release me and I'll just lose whatever money I gotta lose. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we ain't gonna miss him. Because at this point you already knew it was bad by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was gonna go here
Oh
because
yeah.
he already was showing, as soon as that whole second round, even though we were kind of numb to it, at this point. But I think you knew as soon as, and I knew as soon as that white party, everybody thought that meant everything was good. I'm like, I
Yeah.
was the only one who thought for sure. Like, I think that's him saying goodbye. I don't think that's him saying he's staying.
I didn't think that was good either. Yeah, I was like, this don't matter. I was like, we all reading into that for him. That does not matter.
Yeah.
Like,
So
he's gonna go.
he's self-absorbed and delusional as to what his value
Mm-hmm.
is. And so,
Yes.
lastly, with the Phillies, we want to say that even though this whole series with the Twins went down in kind of a cruddy error of 2 games with the umpire was just doing the fact that he had to eject Bohm and the coach at yesterday's game was just ridiculous. To
Yeah.
me, that strike zone was moving.
It was up here, down here, over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, he felt like whatever. And you can always tell when a ref just wants to go home. Like after a while, I was
Mhm.
just like, all right, just say you tired, like because you
Yeah,
changing the rules like every
and,
other
and
batter.
I'm and I'm okay if the strike zone is the same the whole game. I'm okay with that because
It's fine.
that's fine.
If they didn't give Ranger any run support, that's clearly their fault, right? I mean, honestly, at that
Mhm.
point in the game, they should have at least had one or two. They had too many times where they had where it was
Yeah, that
it was
runners
like a
in
full
scoring
house.
positions a lot. Yeah.
Scoring position, right? So my point is, at that point, I can blame them and say, well, partially I'm mad about the umpire, but I'm also mad about y'all not giving some run support before this even came down to the ninth inning. So that's partially your
Hmm.
fault too, not giving run support. And I'm worried about Ranger. I feel like Ranger's not as strong as he used to be. Something's going on with him. Even though he had a decent game, I just thought like I feel like he's not as sharp as he used to be. I
Yeah,
don't know if the injuries starting to show.
I think he'll be okay for the playoffs. So he'll be all right. I think
I
he'll
hope
be
so.
okay.
You can just tell when people aren't sharp. Like me and Nola, I still got the beef with Nola because he be up and
Yeah,
down like
because
off like draws.
yeah, and I think the fact that we got more better starters this year, so we can actually have a fifth starter. Like so.
And Lorenzen definitely helped, obviously, with that no hitter. That was incredible.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
his first outing was good, was solid too. 7 innings,
Yeah, it was. You're
seven
right.
solid innings. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had two
So
great back-to-back showings. Now, mind you, once all this, fervor goes after a bad game, we have to just let him go because he's entitled. Like he just came in at a good time. So if he has a stinker after this, like let's not shoot the messenger. They're all going to screw up at some point. But that was
well,
a
I
very
mean,
refreshing start.
yeah. I mean, he's not gonna have a perfect game. He's not gonna have he's gonna have some rough. He's gonna have a rough game here. He'll get throwing a rough game somewhere too. I mean, that
Yeah, and I always
happens.
just say that just for the nutty fans who really honestly expect them to do perfect every damn day. Realizing you're not using your arm 162 times, bitch. So calm
I
down.
know, right? Yeah, Marlon would just want
Um,
to fall off. Marlon would want to fall
yeah,
off after that.
exactly. I'm sitting here complaining about sleeping on my arm wrong. Can you imagine throwing it in that motion?
Throwing it a hundred times like that. Yeah,
Right. Come on. Especially if you go into extra innings. Don't forget about it.
yeah,
But anyway, all in all, it's our time. It's preseason will be over before we know it. Thank God, because this is the time of antsy season. Like you're like ready for it to be over.
yeah.
But I'm glad that we already see our prospects paying off. It's good to see
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Swift. Once again, someone I wish we had earlier because I feel like again, just like Slay, we caught them at the tail end of their career in Detroit. But whatever, better late than never.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Slay, I need him to step up even more so this season and finish the year as opposed to starting off strong and fading to black. Like we need a lot more from him as a veteran. And I'm
Yeah.
waiting for Reed to explode because I know he's out there. He's showing his face a lot on social media. So
Mm-hmm.
waiting for Reed to make a name for himself, and whoever ends up on the cutting list is just going to be because of these 3 preseason games, and that's it. It's going to have nothing to do with lack of talent because a lot of these dudes, these DB positions, really want that spot. So
Oh
there's
yeah.
a lot of competition, so it's good. It's a good problem for us as fans to have, but we also
Mm-hmm.
have some reliable backup arms and legs later in the season. So it's a good problem to have as an Eagles fan. So we're blessed.
Yes.
We are blessed. So I say we're already going to make it to the Super Bowl anyway. I'm going to put it out there. Damn it. Vegas, here we come. Yes, bitches. I would love to go to Vegas for any reason. So God forbid if they do make the Super Bowl, excuse me, when they make the Super Bowl again, I'm so ready to go to Vegas. I don't even know what to tell you. I might even go the
You're
week
like,
before. Hell of it.
next you know you living it.
May not have
I'm
the
like,
money for the
AJ, where
actual
you
Super
at?
Bowl weekend, but I'll be there.
I'm like, AJ, where are you? Be like, oh, I'm living in Los Angeles for the week.
I just figured I'd just, keep it warm for the guys by the time they get here.
Mhm.
But anyway, as far as all the games this season, if there's one game I definitely was thinking about going now that I'm looking at the schedule, I wish they weren't home for the Cardinals game because I would want to go to the Arizona game. But like I told you, I said if I do decide to go to Tampa, it'd be to see my dad. So Tampa seemed like an interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I don't even know who the backup. Oh wait, is that Baker? Is in Tampa now? Is Baker in Tampa?
I haven't been following with him. Do
Okay,
we
I
have
think it's
Tampa this
Baker. I think it was because he's wearing those creamsicle, those ugly throwbacks, and I think I saw him
Oh,
leaving.
yeah.
So
To
yeah,
the ugly
he's
throwback.
ugly throwbacks, and I love the fact that he's obviously he's a sarcastic guy, so he's already ready for people to be like, "Why is Baker here? He sucks." Like I heard him saying that on the sidelines. He was just, but he was joking, like saying that that's what people are saying, and I'm just like, well,
Yeah.
you've had 15 lives, dude. So the fact that you're even still trying, I give you props because I'd be like done
Yeah.
if I were.
Hey, I give him that. Yeah.
So, and shout out to the Saints too, because apparently Jameis had a touchdown as well as David Carr. So this is gonna be interesting for the Saints fans. At least they'll have some entertainment this year because it looks like it
Yeah.
might be something fun to watch in New Orleans for at least a hot minute. Because Vegas right now, I don't know how long this thing's gonna last. Jimmy G, I think it's a good idea at the time, but I don't know about Jimmy G. I think he looks good. That's about it. Those are my opinions about
he
Jimmy
said,
G. He looks good in
he
black.
said that's about it.
That's about it as far as a football player. And then obviously the Jets now have a new look with Aaron Rodgers, but we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
but who's see if this crazy ass settles? What is he gonna do?
I know we don't know what kind of Aaron Rodgers we're gonna have mid-season. He may flip out early. Who knows? It's
He may
all
want to
good right now.
retreat. May retreat to his dark room and go make some decisions.
So I'm saying he's gonna invite like Sauce Gardner to his cave, and maybe everybody will, if they start sucking again, they can just harness their chi in private.
Yeah, right.
All right, Ed. So that's all, folks, for now. As we know, we try to do this weekly. I know I'm excited after the next preseason game. I think I'm gonna wait to see how the third one goes, and then maybe we might have a pod in between for the regular season.
Yeah,
Um,
before it
the
starts. Yeah,
preseason's kind of like, unless something major happens, there's really nothing to really chat about. It's kind of the same stuff, different week. But thank
yeah.
God there's only three, because I'm already over it by like after the second game. I'm like, okay, are we done here? Can we move it along? But all right, yeah, and
Yes.
also shout out to Jalen because he got his official Jordan brand deal. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. You see, he was wearing them Jordan cleats for a reason, so now he's got his own brand deal. So homie's just making
There
that
you
money
go.
quietly.
Hey, why
Love
not?
our silent warrior.
Let the young man eat. Right. That's
I'm telling you,
it.
let him ball. I tell you, let him ball silently. That's what a leader is. He doesn't have to brag about all his shit. He just does his business and keeps
You
moving.
ever notice like he's on the sideline? Somebody was like, "You gonna get him?" The one guy that's on my interview, and was like, "Are you gonna get him to smile or laugh?" And he's like, "Probably not."
Yeah,
And he said, "I tried everything," and he would not crack
everything.
a smile.
You just weren't funny,
Yeah,
Ross. The jokes you give him, besides whatever he jokes with AJ and Devonta, aren't the same jokes. That's probably why.
yeah,
You ain't saying nothing to him he ain't heard, so that's probably why he can't break a smile. But he does. He was smiling. They actually caught a picture of him smiling. Was he was on the radio and they must have said something funny, so he can smile.
yeah.
Just you weren't you weren't funny, Russ. All right. Well, anyway,
All right.
thanks for the audience. We will be back, Birds of a Feather, the co-ed edition. We will definitely be talking post preseason as well as welcoming. I don't know this next phase of what the Phillies are going to bring for the September October. There's to hope in. Besides wild
Mhm.
card, that'll be our next big announcement. And as far as the Sixers, fuck y'all right now. We don't care. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Thanks for watching. Birds of a Feather, we out. Peace. And where's the end of my recording? Bye.